Modern mountain bikes are more capable than ever, allowing us to tackle increasingly challenging terrain with more control and comfort. However, there are two very common habits that we have as riders which prevent our bikes from properly doing the very things they're designed to do best. Today I'm going to tell you what those two things are, but more importantly, how you can fix them. There's a few things that mountain bikes are designed to do really well. They stop quickly, they corner blindingly fast, and they roll over the chunkiest terrain with surprising ease. However, they don't do these things well at the same time, and there is one main culprit at the root of all of this. There's a lot going on with the various forces associated in mountain biking, but without getting into the physics of it all, the most important thing that you need to know is that braking has a very high impact on the behavior of your bike. A good set of brakes can stop you on a dime, and they allow you to ride at a very fast speed while still maintaining a high level of control in situations where we need to decelerate very quickly. Now, maybe we're coming into a tight turn after a long fast straightaway, or about to drop into a section of technical roots and rocks. In both of these examples, we need to decelerate to a speed in which we can maintain control in the next environment. But the most common mistake that most riders make in these situations is when and how much we need to apply the brakes. To answer that question, let's break this down into two parts. First, we need to have a basic understanding of how braking forces affect our bikes in both of these situations. When cornering, we want the maximum amount of grip possible, and the use of your brakes can cause you to lose traction, which can lead to either wheel washing out from underneath you. Additionally, the use of the front brake also causes the bike to want to stand up, resisting the desired lean you want the bike to be at. Just like with cornering, we also want the maximum amount of grip when tackling technical terrain. Staying off the brakes in key sections allows our tires to hold our intended line even in slick conditions. We also want the bike to flow through these sections with the least amount of resistance. If we're braking through higher speed technical areas, our bike is trying to resist the momentum we're carrying into that part of the trail, which makes for a more harsh and potentially dangerous situation. If you have a full suspension mountain bike, braking forces further disrupt the ability for your suspension to move freely and provide the maximum amount of grip, comfort, and control. Some suspension designs work better under braking forces, but it's always better to use the least amount of brakes as possible in these situations. There are two ways to view braking. One is that brakes are for going slower. The other, less obvious way is that brakes are for going faster. This isn't just some glass half full metaphor either. Yes, brakes are definitely used for deceleration. We regulate our speed to stay in control of the bike, and control is vital for staying within our comfort level. And this is important not only for our own safety, but for the safety of everyone else out on the trail. Since many of us also enjoy the speed of riding, there's a natural tendency to use our brakes just enough to be at the edge of comfort. The result is what many refer to as dragging your brakes. And when doing this through a challenging section of trail, it shifts into what we call comfort braking. Not only does this affect our bike's ability to corner in technical terrain, but it also generates excessive heat, leading to a reduction in braking power. So how do we fix all of these things? The complete opposite approach to dragging your brakes is a technique often referred to as hard braking. This technique ditches the slow, gradual deceleration for a more focused and fast action. This by no means suggests locking up the brakes and skidding down the trail or going over the bars, but rather decelerating much more deliberately for a brief period of time so that you can get down to a speed where you can fully let off the brakes. You can think of it as more of an on-off approach. Now, this means that our bike can spend more time maintaining traction and freely tracking the terrain like it's intended to. This also means less heat buildup in the braking system. For hard braking to work properly, we have to learn to pick when and where to apply the technique. This brings it all back full circle to our bike's ability to corner and roll over technical terrain exceptionally well. Since using our brakes has a negative impact on both, it's important that we enter either scenario already in control of our speed. By braking much earlier and harder coming into a turn, we can then let go to maintain better grip and not generate forces that resist our bike and body position. This also results in exiting the corner with more speed, allowing you to better carry your momentum down the trail. Remember what I said about the idea of brakes being for going faster? Well, this is exactly what I mean by that. The same is true for our technical terrain example. By dumping excess speed immediately before coming into the section, we can get off the brakes and allow our bike, body, and mind to perform at their best and focus purely on the task at hand. The best part is that all of this results in a much less fatiguing experience going down the trail. We not only maintain better control and comfort, but we also save a lot of energy in the process. As easy as all of this sounds, old habits die hard, and it takes a focused effort to break them. The difference will feel very dramatic and foreign at first, but once you learn this, it will improve your riding dramatically. But to make these changes, you'll need a very powerful tool to practice this new approach. And by watching this video here, you'll be able to combine this knowledge with the most fast and effective method for learning any new skill on your bike. So make sure you watch that next to really get the results you want. And until next time, I hope to see you out on the trail.